Welcome to the Blender Goon. In this video, we are going to be updating Blender from 3.3.1 to 3.4 and seeing what problems we might run into, why, and how to go about fixing them. First, to get started, we want to see if we even want to update. So, Blender's come out with 3.4, but do I need it and do I need to update? I don't know. So, if we go to blender.org, and we come up with the home page and it says download, but it doesn't tell you what much. It tells you what's new, so we can actually click on here and see what's new. If you scroll down, and you can watch a little video on it, see all the new features that are coming out, and just generally get an idea of what's going on and whether or not you need to update. Also, we can go back to the download here, and if you come down here, it says looking for Blender LTS. So what happens with a lot of people is if you're updating Blender, a lot of the add-ons may not be supported by 3.4, but the LTS is good till September 2024. So the add-ons that work for 3.3 LTS are going to work until September 2024. You can also see when Blender was last updated, and if you go right here to the read more, it'll tell you it was last updated December 7th, 2022. So if you think you downloaded you have an older version, you can install for your operating system. I mentioned in the previous video on updating that I did that I make an add-on folder. So if I shrink this down and I go to my Blender references, I have a Blender's add-on folder. So the add-ons I use, when I download them, I stick them in this folder. That way, if Blender breaks, I can find them here and try to reinstall them. But like I said, the LTS version guarantees that your add-ons are going to work. But if you update to the new version, they may not. So let's go ahead and download Blender. And I'm downloading 3.4. And go ahead and run that. And I'm going to click next, accept the terms, click next again, and install. Wait for the install, and click finish. So we should have a new icon on the desktop here for Blender 3.4. So now we can open 3.4 and see what happens. So I have low 3.3 settings here, so if I click it, it's freezing up on me. So it's completely froze up, so I'm gonna kill it, if it'll let me kill it. Yep, close the program. And let's try to run it again. So it ran, and my UI size looks to be right, but I have none of my add-ons, so it's not going to load my old add-ons. But you haven't lost everything yet. So if we shrink this down, and let me open a new file explorer. If we go to C drive and then program files, Blender Foundation, we have multiple versions of Blender in here. So if you've never got in here and got rid of them, you probably have all the versions you've ever downloaded. So if you want to open an older version of Blender, you can. Even though mine's still down here in the taskbar, if you don't have it, you can open the old one just by running the Blender exe. That'll open your old Blender, and all my add-ons are there now. So that's why I said you have to make sure you want to update or not. And if you're updating to 3.4, it's not going to work with your old add-ons until you install them and see which ones are breaking it or not. That's why I have that add-on folder. The one thing I did notice when I opened, which one's which? So this is 3.4. I just clicked it down here. One thing I did notice is my UI scale is still the same. So it didn't break my UI scale. It did not break my quick favorites. The only thing that it didn't didn't do is install my add-ons for me. And it may have just only not installed some of them. So if I go to Cube and hit in, go to edit mode. So Rigify is there. I don't even think I put Rigify in here, so that's new. Item, transforms, tools. Let's check. So Bull Tools is still there. So a lot of the add-ons are still there. It's just the extra special ones. Let's check UV editing. I lost my UV squares. So the built-in Blender add-ons seem to still be present. All my UI settings are still good. All my quick favorites and other settings are good. It's just the special add-ons that just haven't caught up to Blender yet. So when they update those, or you can reinstall them, and they may or may not work. So I said that the LTS would guarantee that the stuff wouldn't break. Let me rephrase that, because the LTS doesn't guarantee anything. If you're using add-ons that are third party, the third party person has to make sure those add-ons work for the LTS updates and things. So yeah, not a guarantee, but pretty close to one. So my UV squares is gone, and I want my UV squares back. So like I said, I saved those in the external file. So go to Edit, Preferences, and I'm going to type in, actually, I probably need to install it. Let's search for it first, UV squares. So no UV squares. So click my little X there, go to Install, find my Blender reference. Where's my add-ons? There they are, Blender add-ons. And UV squares, master zip, and turn it on, and close this and hit in. And now I have my UV squares back. So that's why I saved my add-ons in a folder. If you haven't saved them in a folder, though, you download them. So if you go to your File Explorer and go to Downloads, you'll have them in here somewhere. You'll just have to search for them. So if I go over and search UV squares, it's not in there, but that's because I moved mine. But yeah, you should be able to search and find them if you've never moved them. They should all still be in your downloads. Okay, so if you want to install your add-ons, just to reiterate, go to Edit Preferences and click the Install button. Find one. Don't install them all at once and turn them all on at once, because one of them is probably going to break 3.4, because that's why it wouldn't load to begin with. So do it one at a time and make sure everything's working, and then you can go on to the next one. I also wanted to explain that if you open an old Blender file in 3.4 and save it, it saves as a 3.4, so you can more than likely not open it in an older version again. So if you want to be able to still open your saved file in the old version, you need to do a save as. So if we do a file save as, the save as will be 3.4, but the old save will still be whatever old version you're pulling it from. So before you decide to save over top a file, save as, and make sure you want to save it over it. And if you don't want it anymore, you can just delete the old one. So that's it for this video. I hope it was informative and you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to support me, I have a Patreon. Please go check that out. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.